welcome to this week's episode of the Top Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Rob, and joined with me my friends Lou.
Hello, hello.
And Mike.
I'd just like to thank everybody who joined us for Valheim. I know it hasn't happened yet while we're recording, but I'm so confident that it'll be fun that I want to thank you in advance and after it happened when you're hearing this. Time is an illusion.
It's a construct. Well, each week we like to start off with an icebreaker question. What do you got for us, Lou?
What person in your life loves Christmas the most?
My wife.
It might be Hot Kyle.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude's a freaking fiend.
Did not know he's a big Christmas guy.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Lou?
Probably your wife.
I was waiting for someone to say
that
Rob's
was an
wife.
answer I also considered, but I was like, eh.
I honestly didn't have an answer. As soon as I said it, I was like, oh, I don't have an answer for this. This is not good. If you could rate your gift wrapping skills from 1 to 10, how would you rate them?
2.
Like a 3?
Shit. Sorry, shoot.
Lou.
Sorry.
Watch your profanity.
Starting out strong.
Watch your profanity.
Rough.
Well, Lou, how would you rate yours? You have to answer these questions, too.
Oh, probably 3 or 2. Yeah, depending on the day. I don't know. There are times where I Rain Man it and I get it really, really good. Is that okay to say?
I think so.
I don't know.
Eggnog versus hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate as well. Yeah, honestly, guys, I ain't got nothing.
All right. Well,
Nothing good.
why don't you tell us what
those
this?
were all good.
Those were. Why don't you tell us what you chose for this week's topic?
We got
Start us off.
Christmas traditions, baby. The good old Christmas time. Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. Happy Hanukkah. Shalom.
What's
all that
the
jazz.
Seinfeld Christmas thing?
Festivus. December 23rd.
Festivus. Is that a Jewish thing? Sorry.
Well, all right, Lou. What's your number 5?
My number 5, and I didn't do the research on this, and I found out that this happens February 2nd to 4th, but I always lumped it with a Christmas tradition. So don't sue me, because you can't, because I don't have any money. I'm going to do the Plymouth Ice Festival.
I'm suing you.
Ooh, nice.
I love the Plymouth Ice Festival. I've always loved it as a kid. I love the idea of just making art through chainsaws and ice. I think downtown Plymouth is one of my favorite places to go. Especially, it's like a really good place to like bring a date.
So bougie.
Is it bougie?
Yeah. At least
I
for
think
my
it's-
wallet, it is.
I think, yeah, depending on where you go. I mean, listen, this is a little bit random, but if you're in the Plymouth area, there's an ice cream place that's very cheap. Well, unless you get the salty dog. And then, yeah, there's
What
a
is
couple
the salty dog?
Oh, it's like an inside joke with me and Robert.
Also, not cheap.
Yeah, as soon as I said it, I was like, not cheap as a college kid, but cheap as an adult.
Is it?
Everything's
now?
expensive now. Everything's expensive
It's
now.
probably
as a
like
kid.
$10 for a scoop now. It was like 6
No,
at the time.
no. I wouldn't go there if it was like $10. I go there like 4 or 5 times a year. So
Hold on. Why is there dog in the ice cream?
It's like a caramel something.
like a
I don't-
salted caramel. Yeah.
I'm just trying to poke at Lucian about his work escapades today. Also, I don't understand the connection between caramel and dog. That makes no sense to me.
Will you ever put caramel in a dog's mouth? That's what it tastes like.
Yeah. How do you know what that tastes like?
I'd spend $10 on. Wait, no, I absolutely would not spend $10 on that.
Yeah. Oh God.
No. I was just gonna wrap it up because it seemed like we were. The energy today seems a little weird today. To be honest with you.
Well, it's still November and we're recording about Christmas, so that's why,
Yeah.
Found out
for
you
sure.
guys are very much wait till December to talk about Christmas, and then Lou's cut it off at the 26th. We found out last pod, but I like the Plymouth Ice Festival. Made it in my book actually. There's a scene that's set there. I don't say it, but if you know, you know, type of thing.
I have never been, but my contact photo for Rob's wife is a picture of her sitting in a giant ice like throne, grinning the biggest like crap-eating grin you've ever seen back in high school.
Well, she's the queen of the north, don't you know?
And she
Sansa
just sent
Starking
me
this
something. She was
witch.
like, "Hey, this could be my new contact photo." I was like, "Nope,
But then it was.
nope, no, I'm sticking with the cheesy ice sculpture." So I'm a big fan of that, even
Okay.
though I've never been.
Sounds good. I've only been there a couple of times, but yeah, just I really like the atmospheric, ambience and everything.
Downtown Plymouth has good vibes.
Yeah.
It's-
As long as you
Burger spot's also good.
Yeah,
My grandpa loved Burger
Gastropub,
Spot. I've not been there in a long time.
And
La Casa. Shout out to my cigar smokers out there.
La Casa's solid. What is it called? One of my favorite burgers of all time, probably my number 2 burger, is Stella's Tavern in downtown Plymouth. Is
The
really
Coffee Bean. Shout out to Mike who did slam poetry at the Coffee Bean.
good. Slam
Back in the
poetry.
80s.
Yes, that's what I did. I was the slam poet.
Shout out to that one crazy guy that thought there was like hiding weapons of mass destructions under the University of Michigan. Me and my friend, we were sitting there, and he just this conspiracist comes up and starts ranting at us. We're like, "Sure, man, whatever you say." He's like, "It's in the radio waves, the brain waves," and like he took like some like vitamin to cure his cancer and everything. It was wild time.
Oh, vitamin C. That
No, it
cures
wasn't
cancer,
vitamin C, it was
and
something.
pretty much everything else from what I hear.
Yeah. So my number 5, talked about it last year. If you want to know, our last Christmas episode was top 3 Christmas movies, I believe. Yeah, because we had Jacob, shout out Jacob, joining us. But my number 5 is the Christmas movie I want to watch every year, and that's It's a Wonderful Life. I just think it's a very beautiful, wonderfully done story. It's good even outside of Christmas, and I have made the argument that it's more of a story set during Christmas, and it's more about the characters and everything than it is about the holiday itself. But
Shout out Ben.
shout out Ben. But I just really like it, and I go in a lot about it on the last podcast, so that's why it's my number 5, because I feel like I already said everything I want to say, and I'm encourage you guys to go listen to that podcast. Mike shows up late with the worst restaurant experience of his life.
Oh my gosh! I thank you for bringing that back into my my memory. I had mostly forgotten about it, although I had one of the better grandpa saying it, like one of those old person things where you're like, no, 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 no moments as well. That was, whew. Isn't It's a Wonderful Life the like 4-hour Christmas movie?
It's maybe like 3.5. I don't know.
That's freaking
It's not
long,
4 hours.
dude.
It's a good
It's
movie.
only
though.
2 hours. It's a 2 hours and 10 minutes. It just must seem long. It came out a year after World War II, though,
Yeah,
which is nuts.
and it's a great movie. It holds up. You can watch it in
I'm gonna
black and
take
white
your
or
word
in
for
color.
it.
You haven't seen It's a Wonderful Life?
No. What? Hold on. Pause. If you're listening to this podcast and you've gleaned anything about me, comment down below whether or not you would have thought I had seen A Wonderful Life.
Well, you are like
before
60
this.
years old, so you were probably a kid when the movie came out. So I thought you would have went down to the dime theater.
Nah, man, we was broke.
But you're going to the
Also, probably how they treated women back in 1946 is probably how an ideal way of life for you. Like that's where I
Well,
was.
no, it's just how I'm able to spot your misogyny with such a keen eye.
Got him.
I don't support that.
94% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's all I'm saying. Mike, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is also a Michigan specific thing. I'm sure you guys are both familiar with Heinz Drive. If you're not familiar with Heinz Drive, it is kind of the ultimate east to west scenic route for the Metro Detroit area. Whoa! Hold
I know.
on. You're jumping the
literally-
gun. I'll bet you we're just close.
This is it.
Oh,
It's not gonna be the light show, I
wait.
bet you.
It's not the light show.
It's sort of. It's adjacent. It's a very specific week of the light show.
Who the heck is
Uh,
adjacent?
Probably the bike
It-
riding
like
part.
Yes, there it is. So basically, if you don't know what Heinz Drive is, it's this massive, like, slow winding road. There's
It's
a bunch
40.
of parks and 40. Yeah, it's not a highway is the point, but you can just take it east to west. Honestly, it's not like it's freaking Route 66, but I genuinely have never been to the east or the west end. Like, I don't know how far it stretches. So it feels like it goes forever in both directions to me.
Turns into
Even though
Ford or something. Then I've been to
Oh, does
the.
it?
I've been to the east side because I just take the get to one of Drew's house. I've been to the end of the east side. Michigan
Okay.
Ave. It's one of those big like 6-lane streets.
Yeah. So it goes for a long time. Super cool. Lots of parks and places to stay. But there is this awesome light show full of these like arches that they build over the road. And you can pay, it's not terrible. I think it's like, what, $20 a car. And you can, you drive through this cool light show. But there is one night where they open it up to bikers and you can bike down Heinz Drive and look at all the Christmas lights. And that sounds like a really cool thing to do that I would not be upset about trying. I did manage to make almost all of these things that I would like to have done or something close to that. So that is one of them.
It's true. Lou's original topic was things we'd want to do, but I had trouble with that. So
I did too. Because if you don't know this about me, I'm not a huge Christmas guy. I'm never one to like try and squelch other people's Christmas enjoyment, but it's not my favorite.
apparently, Mike, you said something about my in-laws last podcast, and according to my wife, my father-in-law does miss the Christmas tree a little bit. So,
Oh wow!
Huh?
Don't know what
He
you
could
got
have
till it's
spoke up
gone.
when he was throwing it out, but
it's probably now it's like that, 2 years later regret. It's like, man, should have had it. Should have made my son do it.
not a chance.
It's like that.
And that's the thing is,
like
I
that
actually
gorilla.
I talked to your mother-in-law about it, and she said it is a cost-benefit analysis that does not come out positive. So it's not that she doesn't enjoy it; it's that she doesn't enjoy it enough to make it worth the work.
I was gonna say that electricity bill for the, really cranking up that extra $3 you're gonna pay. Too much.
Yeah, it's more the effort to set it all up that she's just not willing to do.
So Lou, do you want to count that as your objection, or do you want to save yours for later?
I mean, I'm next, so I might as well just talk about that.
All right. Well, what's your number 4, Lou?
My number 4 is Heinz Drive, light show. We've done it. It's another thing that we've done. Me and my family have done for years. I was just talking to my sister about it, and we always make the joke that it's a little too long, and that if they would like put things a little bit more together, it would be a more epic adventure, I guess. So there's
That's
a
an
part
excellent
where,
point.
yeah, it's just a little too long, and if you're not doing it, never mind. I don't know what to say and what not to say on this podcast anymore. But all right,
PG-13.
PG-13. I don't know these kids nowadays. But if you condensed it and made it a more like exciting experience, I think it would be a lot better.
TikTokified
So this is
it.
me saying that it's a really So there's a part where there are dinosaurs, and it'd be really funny if like they just moved the dinosaurs up closer to like the elves and made it look like the dinosaurs are eating the elves and Santa's
Oh.
trying to save the elves.
Like a Calvin type thing.
just
I get you.
I don't know who the heck is Calvin.
Calvin
Is
Hobbes?
he friends with Jason?
No, he's friends with Hobbes.
Is this The Wonderful Life?
No, it's a comic strip series. But it's a very Calvin Hobbes thing. You just have like monsters eating snowmen and everything, or like snowmen with their graves and all that. Very funny comic. Would recommend.
But is there lasagna in it?
No, because
That's
quality.
Garfield.
Actually, I'm not going to say that there's no lasagna ever, because it ran for a decent amount of time, but it's not a main staple.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm feeling half-mast today, guys. I don't know why we're talking about Christmas, but that's it for me.
One thing that
Heinz Drive, baby.
I think one thing that would really spice it up is if you get like one of those pedal bars, like early in the season, like along with the biking, have a pedal bar, and you could just like drink and pedal your way down Heinz Drive, that's one way you could sell a
That'd be
lot of
pretty
booze
sick.
and make a lot of money that night.
Gosh, could you imagine like day one? They would have to be like thousands of people picking up booze off the.
Yeah, you'd have to like make
It
sure
would
you have
be
like an Uber or a designated driver, because people just be getting
pandemonium.
plastered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be like running into things.
Yeah, well, I think there's a driver because they drive down like downtown areas and all that. Never been on one, but I think there's someone
Oh,
driving the
I
pedal
understand
cart.
now.
I believe that is the case. I've seen one in Detroit one time, and it's like there's a sober person who steers. Everybody else just pedals for power.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Yeah. I understand now.
Yeah, I will say I like the Christmas show, the Christmas light show on Heinz Drive, but the line's just never worth it in my opinion. It's always like wrapped 3 miles down the road.
Dude, it is so long. I think that's part of why we never go. It's like you're gonna spend a decent amount of money to wait in line, and then you're gonna spend a lot of time driving between the lights.
And then people like some cars don't have the option to turn off your lights anymore, or even just put on like the yellow the turn signals. So you're just getting blasted and it's kind of taken away from it. But yeah, if you can be like one of the only cars there and it's like snowing at the time, man, that's worth the price of admission there.
That's fair.
Chef kiss.
But that never happens. My number 4, I got 3 that I did, and then 2 that I want to do. My number 2 kind of ties in to what Mike was saying earlier, but it's an inside joke. But I looked up on Reddit, what do people do for Christmas traditions? Because I'm like, I can't think of any that I don't do or anything. And one that was actually kind of popular was you get Chinese food on Christmas Eve. And, you and your family just get Chinese food. And I love me some Chinese food. I think my mom, Becca, and I did this one time by accident. We watched It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas Eve and got Chinese food. So it was a one-time tradition. You also watched It's a Wonderful Life and Chinese food? Oh my gosh. We're just taking all the loose ones.
I'm so sorry.
That's just something I want to do. That's basically it. Chinese food on Christmas Eve. I know, like, my wife's family, I don't know if this is going to step into anyone's service. All right. My wife's family did something like that with food, but my family never did that, so Chinese food. Love it. Lou?
Should I?
Go for it.
Okay, my turn to go? Okay, yeah.
You're the one with the objection.
That is true. That's how our podcast works.
It's been a while since we've used the objection button.
It has been a while since I've used the objection button. So there's always been the story about my family that they decided to try to bake a frozen turkey in the oven, and then surprise, surprise, it never fully baked, and they were out of a turkey. And so me and my family always had the same Chinese restaurant that we've gone to for the longest time, but they recently sold it to a new owner, and then it just immediately turned to crap. But I always wanted to. I was either this or go to the movies on Christmas, and I don't know, something about going to the movies seems kind of dirty to me now.
Amen.
Knowing.
Oh
yeah, no,
I thought you were gonna say on Christmas. Amen.
No, on Christmas I can't stand it. I don't understand movies on Christmas Day. That makes no sense to me.
I personally, a deep dark part of me loves that, but I know that that's not good. It's like pollution, or I don't know, buying.
So, are you saying a deep dark part of you loves pollution?
And misogyny, Lou? Wow.
I guess that is. Those are. Wow, those are the things. That is the thing that I said. But Chinese people don't celebrate Christmas, and so I would love to. And I've recently loved traditional Chinese food. So that is actually
Get
something.
Get your orange chicken out of here, panda.
Yeah, soup dumplings, baby.
What's your go-to Christmas Eve Chinese order? Do you have one, or is it just whatever the stomach wants?
I love just a plethora of things that everybody can just pick from.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if we're doing traditional, if we're doing American style Chinese food, I'm loving anything fried with a sticky sauce on it. I'm down to do.
Amen.
But then beef and broccoli's delicious. I'm down for whatever.
A little bit more, yeah. Come on.
But I love scallion pancakes. You guys have a scallion pancake before?
I don't think I have.
delicious.
I've heard
Trader
good
Joe's has, I don't
things.
know, pretty good. Soup dumplings is good. Uh, Taiwanese chicken and rice, super delicious. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I will say, back to just going back for movie theater. I worked at a movie theater for a year, and Christmas is one of the busiest days of the year. And I, as someone who's like never did that with my family, it just doesn't make sense to me. But a lot of families do it. It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't register in the head.
You're
Mike,
like indoors, nice warm popcorn.
but
I
like
don't
you're not.
understand how you guys don't understand.
I mean, I get the appeal of a movie theater, but like to me, it's like Christmas you're usually spending with your family. So it's like, what you can't be those people talking in the movie theater.
Well, what if you don't really like your family?
Well, then don't see
Thought
them.
about that?
It's that easy. Well, you're gonna say, "Oh, sorry, I can't. Sorry, fam, I gotta go see a movie."
Cut them out of your life.
Cut the
That's
toxic
fair.
people out of your life.
I get that.
Mike, what's your number 4?
Cut the toxic people out of your life along with the pollution. My number 4. I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. I did not organize these. I just got 4 down and was excited about it. So we're gonna go with. Okay, this is one that Hot Kyle's family does
Oh.
that I think would be pretty cool to do. Every year, and we don't need to get into the debate, but every year, his family watches Die Hard and makes just an insane amount of food, and they eat food and watch Die Hard. And I get that is bordering on going to the movies, but you're able to eat all the food that you brought, so it's not like the movies. And I don't know that the theater shows Die Hard on Christmas. Plus, you get to talk and like be social because you've all seen the movie a bunch, so it's not hyper imperative that you're paying attention. And that sounds like a pretty decent way to do. I think it might be a Christmas Eve thing. It's been a minute since we talked about it, but they even have like the Hans Gruber falling off the tower, like countdown to Christmas that they put up. Like it's a whole event.
That's such a Hot Kyle thing to do.
Right?
So you invited Jacob over. I feel like Jacob would really like something like that.
I could see him being on board with it. To my knowledge, no, he has not invited Jacob to family Christmas before.
Lou, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is baking cookies, Christmas cookies.
About it.
My family has this really good pudding chocolate chip cookie that has always been just like a tradition in our lives. And yeah, I just my family never let me allow in the kitchen. I was the kind of kid that would steal cookies right off the hot pan. I would not care. So I got banned from the kitchen during those times.
They swat at you with a spatula.
And now it's my my time. It's my time to eat hot cookies.
How many cookies actually, make it out of the, onto the table?
Santa don't get nothing in my house. Damn it.
How do you make a chocolate pudding, or I don't know if you said chocolate, but like a pudding cookie?
Oh, like the pudding mix.
Mm-hmm.
You pretty much just like make a chocolate chip cookie and then add the pudding mix into the dough, and it just because really what it is a custard. It's just powdered custard,
Mm-hmm.
and so it just makes the cookie so delicious. I don't know, in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not an amazing cookie, but because I grew up with it, I have hardcore bias on it. So yeah, that's for me.
Mm-hmm. Mike, you make any cookies? Your family do that?
I do not. My uncle, I don't know if he still does. He's gotten on a bit more of a health kick lately, but he used to have an entire day called Cookie Day. He'd go to his friend's house who had a huge kitchen, and they would spend the entire day just hanging out and baking cookies, and then he would just box up and give Christmas cookies to everybody as a gift. And they were really good. They were really good. I was a big fan of the my favorite was a recipe of his own invention that he used Starbucks instant coffee that he called the Cocoa Beware. So like you take a bite and it would taste like a chocolate cookie, and then like halfway through the coffee would kick in, and it would taste like a coffee cookie. It was weird. I don't know how he did it. And we've made coffee chocolate cookies since. Mackenzie and I tried to recreate the recipe, and we ended up on something else. We called it mocha chip, and it was delicious. But we never cracked the recipe on Cocoa Beware.
He won't give it to you?
You know, I never asked. I just thought it'd be fun to try and figure it out.
Nice. You try to Wendy's his McDonald's?
Exactly.
My number 3 is a tradition my mom and I used to do back when I still lived in the Detroit area. So we'd always go out to do some family activity, whether it was, breakfast or like early dinner type thing. And on the way home, we'd always pass the 7-Eleven. So I don't know when this started, but we started every time going to 7-Eleven. And it's just a fun memory in my head. We go and get, just Slurpees and whatever. Yes, it was usually, cold or whatever. Not North Dakotan cold, but Michigan cold. And drinking a Slurpee. Some people look at me crazy, but I was about that life. And then usually go home and then play whatever video game I got or whatever, and just drink a Slurpee, and it was a great time. Especially if we got Crazy Robert working behind the counter, but it's a different story. Man, it was wild. Lou, I don't know if you ever met Crazy Robert when he went to that 7-Eleven.
I don't know if I think I would have known. I would have known. You've took me to that 7-Eleven a handful of times, and it was like walking into a place. It was like walking into a place that you owned. It felt like you're like, yeah, this is my domain.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Now whenever I go back, I'm just like, what is this? They've changed it up so much. Look what they've done to my boy.
Just wrecked the place.
Yeah. Now it looks, like more clean and everything. Where's the fun in that?
I know. Fun. My dad used to take me to 7-Eleven. I had a really bad year of getting bullied. And instead of like walking me through like how to get bullied, my dad used to just take me to the 7-Eleven. So I have good memories of the 7-Eleven.
Nice. You always go for the Slurpee, or do you get like a pop or something?
Oh, the taquitos, brother.
Dude,
You
those
gotta
taquitos.
love those taquitos. I try to figure out the supplier of those taquitos so I could just buy like a 50 pack.
Mm-hmm. You get the steak and cheese, or the
I like them all, man. I mean, I even like just the cheese.
mm-hmm.
I liked whatever was on the roller. I think my
cream cheese and
problem is that
jalapeno.
if I bought the taquitos, I feel like I would have to buy the roller
Yeah.
because I think that's part of the experience.
Mm. I even like just their. I like most of their roller food. Even like the chicken. They have like buffalo chicken rollers. I'm about it.
Those are good. Yeah. The actual. I try to figure out the nutritional facts on those because I was like, it's
I
just
don't want to
protein.
know. No. It's something I live in ignorance. Did not like the roller cheeseburgers though. They're like similar. It's like no, not about those ones. Those ones just made me sick every time I tried them. Mike, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is All right, so like I said, not all of these are perfectly on brand, but they're or on the prompt. They're close. I've always thought this would be fun, but I would never do it because it's just too cruel. And you don't get a lot of Christmas carolers anymore.
Homeless?
But I have always wanted to just sit around with a paintball gun and just snipe off Christmas carolers.
Wow. Real Scrooge over here.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good time.
Mike's like, yeah, I like for Christmas I like a little bit of battery. No problems. Nothing like a misdemeanor to really lighten the mood.
Like I said, I wouldn't do it, but I think it'd be a good time. They show up, they start singing obnoxious Christmas carols that nobody asked for, and realistically, nobody wants you to show up. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know a single person who would be excited to sit there and stand at their door with the door open in the middle of winter while strangers sing. Like, I just doesn't compute with me. So, like, I think I'm doing a public service at this point, and I think it'd be a good time. You know, it would appeal to the less sanctified portion of my soul.
Probably people that would like that are probably like old people who
Yeah, I think
all their
it's
families are dead.
they just want
You
to
know.
be, recognized that they're still here during Christmas. Mike's like, nope, going Rambo.
Yeah, yeah. Because Rambo is. I mean, I said Rambo, because Christmas time is the saddest. It can be like the saddest time for people.
Mm-hmm.
It is true.
Just imagine
True.
like
But
there's
hey,
this
I
old
mean-
lady in his neighborhood. They're like careless of getting outside. You just see him like hiding in the bushes as they start singing. That opens fire on them. It's like
Right. but
leaving the old
just make
people in
sure
tears because they were looking forward to the human interaction. I'm like, yeah, get out of here, you son of a beep.
Make sure that they're Christmas colors. Your paintball.
It has to be red and green.
Ooh, red and green paintballs
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. I might have to do
Yep.
it now.
If you get some glitter in there, just get that snow effect.
Yeah.
That one was from Lou.
Oh,
This was his
Good thing I
idea.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Well, Lou, let's move away from criminal activity, hopefully. What's your number 2?
I just want to straight up steal from old people. I think that would be.
See? You're getting in the spirit now.
Getting in the spirit. So she said, yeah, I think so. We did this one time, me and my wife, our first Christmas together. We made a Christmas breakfast for each other, and we tried to do like a cook-off to figure out who could make the best Christmas present. I mean, Christmas breakfast. Because we were really poor. Oh wow!
There it is.
Look at that.
I mean, it's not exactly right, but based on what the uses of objection has been.
It's adjacent.
Yeah.
That feels like a shot at me, to be honest. But I'll take it.
Not a shot. I'm just like I'm just rolling with the.
Lou's over here
I'm
singing
going with the flow.
carols,
Singing carols.
taking shots.
So yeah, our first year marriage, we were dirt poor, didn't have enough money to buy each other gifts like that, and so we made Christmas breakfast for each other. And
2-1.
ours, I put too much. We both put too much peppermint in our pancakes, and it was disgusting. I don't think neither of us enjoyed our breakfast, so then we never did it again. But I want to bring it back because I'm a better cook now.
Mm-hmm. Is that the main deal? Main meal was the pancakes. That was the staple of it.
Yeah.
Sausage or anything.
It was supposed to be like Christmas themed, so I think I think.
What would you make now?
I mean, this was like 7 years ago. I would make. Ooh, that's a good question. I didn't think about that. So depending on what she would make, I'm assuming that she would make I think it wouldn't be a competition anymore. That we would just make it together. And I usually like doing one sweet and one savory thing. So, I think I would make a really good pancake, like a nice fluffy chocolate pancake, maybe. I think that'd be good. And then maybe like a potato hash with bacon or sausage.
Ooh.
That'd be pretty good.
Mike, how is your? Let's hear your number 2, I guess, if that's your objection.
So yeah, my number 2 is Christmas brunch. But frankly, Christmas brunch for me is just Christmas breakfast with ham. So, I like we did this one year. We had people over. We did brunch, and we did eggs and bacon and pancakes, and we did potato. We had like a cheesy potato, and then I honey baked a ham. So I was up at like 4 a.m. getting this thing started, and it was awesome. It was really good. Good camaraderie, good time with the family, and yeah, I loved it. And then we never did it again, and it's something I would have enjoyed to have made a habit of.
I didn't realize there's so many toppers out there that disliked ham.
Really? Is that a? I did not either.
Well, one was Jacob and Andrew's brother, which he might be the
He's a
second
super
pickiest
picky
person.
eater. Yeah, I
Second
was gonna say
pickiest
that
person I
doesn't
know.
count.
Yeah, brother only eats chicken nuggets, right?
And salami. Salami and bread.
Oh,
Right? Yeah, I don't think he even puts cheese on there. Maybe. Let us know down below. What's your go-to sandwich, Jacob and Andrew's brother? Get to the bottom of this. I think so. To the breakfast thing, my family used to always do like an early dinner, but like once my grandparents left, then we kind of just meet at my cousin's house and it'd be a breakfast. So I don't know why it evolved to breakfast, but it has. So I'm about the Christmas breakfast. One of the few times I'll eat breakfast during the year. Lou, what's your number 2?
pretty cool. My number 2 is cutting down your own Christmas tree. Something that I always
Classic.
love to do. Super classic. There's pictures of me. I actually recently posted a picture of me on Facebook of me cutting down a Christmas tree as a young lad, a little chubby little thing. And yeah, I used to love. I mean, it reminds me a lot of my dad, to be honest with you, because he used to be the picky guy, and he used to just like stare at trees and be like, "Oh, this isn't the one," and then And if you ever been to a tree farm, there's like hundreds of trees, and he would spend. There's been times where we've been there and there was light out, and then we left where there was no light out. Like
That's
just
a bit much.
it is a bit much, but this was his thing, and so we kind of just usually there would be a place that sell hot chocolate, and after a while walking around, my family would just let him do his thing like a dog in the woods, and we would just sip on hot chocolate until he called us over and we'd figure the one to cut. So yeah, it was pretty fun.
Something I always wanted to do, but just never could. And there's no trees in North Dakota, so
Yikes, there's no
Yeah.
trees in North Dakota.
basically. It's weird. I never thought I would miss trees until I like left Michigan. And now like I know people driving through the UP, they just feel so claustrophobic with all the trees. I'm like, no, I love those trees. I wish we had that. It's just so open here. It's uncanny. It's eerie. Mike, would you be pro cutting down trees over the plastic ones or the artificial ones, or is it still just too much work for you?
Oh, dude, it's way too much work. I have absolutely no interest
more
in a
work.
tree that I have to. Um, I mean, I don't like going out and buying the plastic Christmas tree because I find lugging the box in to be kind of a pain. Lugging the tree, not my favorite thing. I'm not getting a tree that isn't pre-lit because I have no interest in stringing up lights. Being able to just throw it on the curb sounds good, but then you still have to undo all the lights. You can't just throw out all your decorations and get new ones every year because that's wasteful. Yeah, again, I am all about people doing it and liking this stuff for themselves. I'm not trying to take anybody's Christmas away. It's just not something that does it for me, and I'd much rather sit at home in the normal decor and just enjoy the snow than go cut down a Christmas tree.
What's the upkeep like, Lou? So I have to water it and everything?
Just water it, but like, I mean, it was alive, so you can honestly, depending on how long ago you got it, you could just let it die. You maybe have to water it once.
What time period do you go? What's your time frame?
5 things I hate to do during Christmas. I get it giving. That's our tradition. So you would have to water a handful of times. But if you get it earlier, I mean later than that, you'd be perfectly fine. Now, again, like if I had to.
You're cutting out, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I'm confused.
When you said
I hate the.
What is happening?
I like cutting them down.
Okay, you like cut them down. Yep, you like cut them down. You don't like taking care of them.
I don't like taking care of them.
All right,
I don't like taking. I'll water the tree. I don't like putting the lights on.
That's fair. Yeah, when is science gonna get to a point where they can come with lights? Just grow a tree with lights. It's not that hard. My goodness. Come on, Elon Musk. Who needs Neuralink when you could be working on this? When's the
Man's
perfect
got a
time?
point.
When's the perfect time to get your tree then, so you only have to water it once?
Are you asking me that?
No one else here has cut down a tree, so yeah. You're our expert, dog.
I'm not a botanist. I'm not a botanist. I don't
Well,
know.
I didn't
You
know if
brought
like
it up.
Thanksgiving
Just
you're
put
too
water in
early,
the
you're gonna
tree.
end up watering it a few times, or you should get it like 2 weeks out. You've been doing this your whole life.
Get it
I
2
thought
weeks out.
Okay.
I don't know. Just put water in a tree.
All right.
I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna work for mine, but I'll move on to my number 2
What
because
do you want from
it's
me?
getting heated. I just want to.
All right, you don't even have. Sorry.
Lou, I can't wait for you to be able to hear the weird in and outs that we got while you were talking. Like it just got so negative but so choppy. I hate
Top 5 least favorite. I'm just trying to have a conversation.
I was wondering why you guys were not responding.
My number.
Oh, we were.
My number 2, I think, is more of an English, the British Isles type thing, but it sounds like a good time, and that is going to the pub for Christmas. I don't know why. Ooh. I just like the thought of it. You kind of get like not only do you spend time with your family, but it's kind of like a community thing. You go down to the pub and just kind of eat whatever they have. Then you don't have to, clean up the dishes or make the meals. And it just sounds like a grand old time for me. So I would love to go to the pub on Christmas as a tradition. Granted, we're in America, so everything's closed down here, but except for the Chinese joints, but not a pub.
Not a pub. Support alcoholism.
You don't have to get alcohol at the pub.
I'm sorry. I just thought this was the type of podcast we're doing right now.
Lou, you're the masochist, or you're the womanizer.
I don't like mask. Out of here.
Misogynist, there's the term, not the alcoholic.
I like massages.
All right.
I actually really like the idea of going to a British pub and getting bangers and mash and a Guinness. That sounds really good.
It honestly does sound pretty great.
Mm-hmm. Mike, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Christmas brunch.
Oh yes. We did this.
Time is illusory.
Well, Lou, we're coming right back at you for your number 1.
My number 1, baby. You want to know? You want to know my number 1? Sweetheart.
Yes.
That's why we asked.
My number 1, which, yeah, I'll just take it. My number 1 is being able to open up one of your stocking stuffers Christmas Eve. Just that little bit of sweet little capitalism right before the big day. It's a
little edge.
I'm trying to keep it PG-13. Yeah. It's like a little edge. It's like a little edge before the big reveal.
Go back to whatever podcast that was.
PG-13, baby.
Did you put like actual
yeah.
Christmas like presents in your stocking? Because my family was mostly snacks and candy and such like that.
One day, when you asked that question, I thought about the time where my family literally put coal. So the joke, the running joke my whole life is that they would buy bubble gum that looked like coal. And so I'd be like, coal, and it would be gum, and I'd chew it. But literally one time my family put actual coal in my stocking, and then I chewed on it, and I look like I licked death. And I was pretty upset, and I've always been a good boy. That's my kink. Oh
gosh.
Yeah. But it could be, Five Below type stuff, I think is like a really good example of that. Nothing big. Yeah, mostly nothing like candy like. Some candy, but not a lot of candy.
Mm. Mike, did your family do stockings?
We did a little bit when I was young, but not recent. It's been a long time.
Did your mom make
Your
the
family
stockings?
don't seem like a type of.
I don't think so.
Okay, I could see her making stockings.
I could too. I could definitely see that being a thing.
All right, my number one. I'm pretty sure we talked about this last year too. Something me and my wife recently started doing the past couple years. It's just waking up Christmas morning, feeding our alcoholism, like Lou said, and making some spiked hot chocolate as we open gifts. So just, I don't. It's not Swiss Miss, but we got a step up from that. Put a little Bailey's in there, and you know, we're not getting wasted or anything, but it's just a nice smooth drink to enjoy and spend time together.
I feel that. What's See, one of my favorite things is, well, it's been a long time since I mixed any good cocktails. I haven't been bartending, or bartending for friends, as it were, in a long time. But I used to make a pretty mean spiked hot chocolate, and I took it pretty seriously. Those were good times.
What do you use in it?
So first of all, yeah, if you're not drinking a milk-based hot chocolate, then there's no point at all. So warm up the milk in the pot. Really, any kind of powdered, Swiss Miss is honestly fine. The stuff is good. But then I would hit it with we had a dark chocolate sauce and a little caramel sauce. Although actually, no, I'd probably, if I was going to then spike it, I'd pull the caramel sauce out. And although actually, now I'm doing this in real time. Put the caramel sauce back in.
Okay. Oh, take it out and put it back in.
Talk about edging. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm a degenerate.
Add some Fireball and then let it all kind of stew for a while. Hit it with some whipped cream and some chocolate shavings. That'd be pretty good.
The straight up Flanders situation right now. Delicious.
I don't know about Fireball. I also just don't like Fireball.
Or better yet, roll it back to, I don't know the name. I'd have to go grab it. But if you go check out the October Movies episode, we reviewed a couple of whiskeys during that podcast, because why not? And the cinnamon whiskey that we did from Rusted Crow, which is a Michigan-based distillery. It's basically the flavors and the concept of Fireball, but without your mouth tasting like you just dipped your tongue in hot wax afterwards. And delicious. I think there's a picture of it on our Instagram if you really, really want to know.
What's your number one, Mike?
My number one. This one's genuinely sincere. I wish I could do this again, and I'll never get to engage in this Christmas tradition. I love shoveling snow. It is like some people like mowing the lawn. There's different chores that people just enjoy this one specific chore for some reason. For me, it's shoveling snow. I used to shovel snow as a kid to make money. It was just, I like it. It's peaceful. It's one of the only things I can go do for hours and not have to put in headphones, just because I get lost in it. I love it. But we used to come back home from church on Christmas Eve night, and we had a next door neighbor. Bill and Betty were their names, and they were just older couple, super cool. As a kid, Bill, I was trying to make like a ramp for skateboarding one time, and I was hammering nails this thing, and Bill was like, "Hey, bring it over here," and he just busted out the power tools, and we had that thing in 30 seconds. One day I was walking to work, or I was walking to the bus stop for an afternoon half day, and he was pulling into the neighborhood. He was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "School." I was like, "Get in." Gave me a lift to school. Just really nice, kind people. Good friends with my parents. Bill died at some point. I don't remember when specifically, but this tradition kind of just started. It was crazy coincidence that we were able to do it so many years in a row. But the Christmas Eve after Bill died, it was pouring snow, and so we got home from church and we came out and we shoveled the snow to, you reduce the amount of snow that builds up. It's easier. It would be me and my uncle and my dad, and then we did Betty's Betty's walk in Betty's driveway, and she came out and thanked us and asked us in for hot chocolate, which none of us actually really wanted to do because we just wanted to get back inside to do our own thing. But we did anyway, because what are you going to do? Tell the lonely widow, no, we come have a cup of hot chocolate with you on Christmas? Like, come on. But like, it just kept happening. Like every Christmas Eve for a long time, it seemed like we got a big snow. And so we'd all go out and shovel Betty's lawn I do this every time I talk about shoveling. We'd go shovel Betty's driveway, and that was my favorite Christmas tradition. And we no longer live next to Betty, and I'm pretty sure she's dead. So there's really no way to make that happen any longer. And there's no sidewalks in our neighborhood, so the tradition is pretty much at a standstill. But if I ever end up with an elderly neighbor, I'm going to be knocking that out on Christmas Eve again.
Do you not have I thought your family did sandwiches.
We do. I for some reason I was gonna put that on my list. That was gonna be my number one, and I totally spaced that. I had managed to make it all things I would like, all Christmas traditions I would like to do. But yeah, we do. That was the reason we didn't want to go have hot chocolates, was we do a sandwich bar and we open one present, and or it might be that we open all our presents from each other, and then on Christmas Day it's just presents for like aunts and uncles and grandparents and stuff. It's been a minute. I don't really remember. Presents have become less and less important part of Christmas over the years. So, but we would do some form of presents, and we'd do a sandwich bar, and always a good time. Very fun.
Sounds good. So next week, I want to know your top 5 gifts you received as a child.
Oh.
We'll say 8th grade is the cutoff, so your 8th grade Christmas year. It's the last you can choose from, so I would appreciate some non-video game related ones in there. I'm sure we can come up with some, but
I'm breaking that rule flagrantly, by the way.
All
just a heads up. I'm going full on 10th grade, just so you're aware.
Nope, not allowed.
It's happening.
Wow, don't be a Lou about it.
Something
please.
like this before.
No.
What did I do?
Shots fired!
We did Christmas movies.
There we go. That's what I meant to do.
That's Christmas movies was the only Christmas episode we did last year. So
What we did was we brought on Jacob, and then the 3 things we did were we did gifts, movies, and something else. It was like a multi-faceted episode. It wasn't just one theme.
okay.
But we definitely didn't do top 5s, so there'll only be a little bit of crossover. And let's be real, we've gotten better at podcasting since
Yeah.
then.
Well, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Top Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review. Check the comments. We got some people leaving stuff down there. Let us know what your favorite Christmas tradition is, and we'll catch you next time when we talk about our favorite gifts as a child. Peace out.
Shalom. It means hello and goodbye.